Assalamu alaikum. Let me ask you something. When you see happy families eating together, children laughing, husband and wife sitting side by side, then why does something inside you suddenly go quiet? And here is the uncomfortable truth. Divorce pain is not what destroys most Muslim men. What destroys them is when the pain becomes their identity. By the end of this video, you will know how to stop carrying divorce like a permanent wound and start using it as evidence that Allah is rebuilding you. And I want to walk you through something many Muslim men never say out loud. The hidden pain of feeling excluded, grieving the family dream, and wondering whether Allah will ever write peace for you again. Look, I'm not speaking to you as a therapist, and I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking as someone who knows what divorce transition feels like. Because I went through it, I know the confusion, the emotional fatigue, the silent questions you carry while still showing up to work, still praying, still trying to function. And maybe that is why this conversation feels different. Because I'm not standing above you. I'm standing beside you. Not to make you dependent on me, but to remind you that pain can either break a man or train him. And that choice matters. There was a season after my divorce where I started spending more time alone. Sometimes I would eat alone. Sometimes I would go for my walks or training alone. And I remember this one feeling very clearly. Maybe you know it too. You are sitting there quietly, and around you, families, children laughing, parents talking, nice, delicious food on the tables. You know, that normal family atmosphere. And suddenly, something tightens inside your chest. Not jealousy, not hatred, just this heavy feeling. That was supposed to be my life too. That's what I said to myself. And this is where many men become confused because the pain is layered. Part of you feels excluded, part of you grieves the intact family dream. And another part quietly asks, will I ever have this again? I remember sitting there watching families around me and I realized something uncomfortable. The real pain was not only losing the marriage. The deeper pain was losing the picture I had built inside my head. And if you do not understand this, boy, you start fighting reality instead of healing. And this is where divorce becomes dangerous. Not because divorce automatically destroys a man. Islam never says that. The danger comes afterwards because every divorced Muslim man eventually reaches two roads. The first road is when the pain becomes resentment, victimhood, bitterness, spiritual laziness, emotional recklessness. You stop trusting. You become cold. You call bitterness wisdom. And slowly, the devil turns your wound into your personality. But there is another road. Pain becomes your personal Tawbah or repentance. Clarity, discipline, strength, and closeness to Allah. And brother, whether we admit it or not, we choose between these roads every single day. So I had to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And ask something harder. Oh Allah, what are you teaching me through this? That question changed everything because pain in Islam is never meaningless. Sometimes it is protection, or purification, and sometimes it is exposure. Look, sometimes Allah removes something painful because keeping it would damage your akhirah, dignity, or peace. And here is a truth many men resist. Divorce exposes you, your attachment, your ego, your emotional dependency, your anger, your need for validation, your spiritual gaps. Good. Now you have data. Do not waste the data. Pain is not identity. Pain is diagnostic. It shows you where training is needed. And this is where rebuilding begins. Not motivation, just structure. Because when emotions are unstable, routines become mercy. I started seeing worship differently. Praise stopped feeling like a routine or burden. Na'uzubillah. It became my life support at that time. Prostration or sujood became the place where I unloaded what no human being, including my own family members, could fully carry. Zikr or remembrance of Allah became my emotional medicine. And I learned something important. When the pain hits, do not text. Do not stalk. Do not spiral. Do not argue with imaginary conversations in your monkey brain. Pause and say, Hasbi Allahu la ilaha illahu. Allah is sufficient for me. Because many men think they are healing while secretly reopening the wound every day. Checking, replaying, explaining, overthinking. Dude, that is not healing. That is emotional self-harm to yourself. Pain needs processing, not constant stimulation. And this is why structure matters. Pray, train, walk, eat properly, protect your sleep, build your work, show up for your children when they are with you. Because a weak body and a chaotic routine make the mind dramatic. And Muslim men do not rebuild through chaos. We rebuild through structure. And if children are involved, this matters even more because your child is watching. Not your speeches, but your behavior. Your child should never become your therapist. Never. Never inherit your bitterness. Never feel forced to choose sides. Let them see something stronger. A father who still prays, still go to work, still keeps promises, still show up, still speaks respectfully, still carries pain without becoming cruel. That will become your legacy because your child will learn. My daddy suffered, but he did not collapse. That is powerful, mashallah. So let us bring this home. Pain is real, but pain must not become identity. Pain becomes evidence. Evidence that Allah is calling you back. Evidence that something inside needs purification. That rebuilding has started. Stop. Stop identifying as, I'm just a divorced man. That is only a legal status. Your deeper actual identity is this. You are a servant of Allah under reconstruction, a man under training, on the job training, a Muslim man turning wounds into worship, and that identity will carry you. If this conversation hit home, I want to help you to go deeper. That is exactly why I created the Muslim Man Rebuild Playbook, because healing after divorce should not depend on mood or motivation. Structure removes confusion. Inside the playbook, I walk you through rebuilding your emotional control, routines, faith, discipline, and masculine foundation, step by step. The link is in the description. Come on, download it, read it, and start rebuilding with direction instead of guesswork. And if this resonated with you, subscribe to my channel, because this channel is not for everyone. It is for Muslim men who refuse to let pain become their personality. And tell me below, do you agree or disagree with this statement? Pain can destroy a man or rebuild him. I will read all your thoughts. Assalamu alaikum.